For the expression below, let A equal 2, B equal 15, C equal 3, and D equal 10, and add the fractions and type your answer as a decimal rounded to the nearest hundredth. Well, A over B, that would be 2 over 15, plus C over D, that would be 3 over 10. So we need to take 2 15ths plus 3 tenths. Well, when adding these, we need to get a common denominator. The common denominator between 15 and 10 is actually 30. We can just go up the multiples of 15 until we find a number that 10 goes into. Well, 1 times 15 is 15, and 10 doesn't go into 15. 2 times 15 is 30, and 10 does go into 30. So 30 is the least common denominator. Now, to get these numbers up on top, what I did was 15 goes into 30 2 times, and 2 times 2 is 4, so that would be a 4 right there. And 10 goes into 30 3 times, and 3 times 3 is the 9. Then once you have a common denominator, you just add your numerator, and you get 13, and bring along your common denominator. So the answer is 13 30ths. Now, another way, if the denominator is tough for you to get, harder than that, then you could do something like this. Here was the problem again, 2 15ths plus 3 tenths. Well, the 15 breaks into 3 times 5, and the 10 breaks into 2 times 5. So what's in this denominator, the 2 times 5, that's not in this denominator? Well, a 2. We already have the 5 here, so I need a 2. And then you could do the same thing over here. What's in this denominator that's not in this denominator? Well, a 3. And if you check this, you get 2 times 3 times 5 is 30. So that's why 30 is our common denominator. Then when we took 15 in there, we got 2, and 2 times 2 is 4, and then 10 goes into this 3 times. 3 times 3 is 9, and that gives us our 13 30ths, because 3 times 2 times 5 is 30. Now, what is that as a decimal? Well, you take 30 into the 13. Now, the decimal point on that 13 is right after the 13. We can put a 0 after that. See, 30 goes into 13, 30 goes into 130 how many times? Well, about 4 times. 4 times 30 is 120. And then subtract, and we get a 1, a 0, and just bring down another 0. 30 goes into 100 3 times, and 3 times 30 is 90. Subtract, we get another 10 and bring down another 0, and we see that we get repeating 3's. Now, rounded to the nearest hundredth, you do this. Here's my answer. 0.433. It's actually the repeating 3's. Now you look at this number, and if it's 5 or bigger, that rounds this up to a higher spot. Well, it isn't, so you would just type in 0.43. Now you may see sometimes on your test that it will say something like the answer is something like that, plus or minus 0.01. That means that you could have been off by 1/100th, and you still would have gotten credit for that problem. But that's how you do this problem, and hopefully you can go back and figure out how to do the problem that you missed on the test.